So, dear students, good afternoon. Today, we are going to talk about a poem called Life. So, we can really try to understand the meaning of the word life. And the title itself says that what could be the poem. So, when you say it is life, of course, life has plenty of meanings for people. See, how you take life, how you look at life, what is your attitude towards life? Do you have a positive attitude, a negative attitude, pessimistic attitude, or optimistic attitude, or a jubilant attitude, or a cynical attitude, a nihilistic attitude, a sadistic attitude? It all depends upon you. That's why one poet says that the pen is in your hand. You are the draftsman and you are the composer. You can really, architect your life as you want, because you are the composer, you are the architect, and you are going to be the person who is going to pen your life. So that's why, see, of course, we being very spiritual in attitude, in our outlook, what we try to do is we always try to attribute our life to some spiritual kind of things. But various schools of thought, various philosophies have various definitions on life. If you just look at Western attitude and philosophy towards life, the way they look at life is totally different. For them, life is after all only an enjoyment. For us, we Eastern, especially Indians, have a different attitude to life, and we feel that we are born with a mission. Every human being is given life with a mission, with a aim. What is that aim? That aim is to reach God, to realize the soul. So this soul is actually different from your body, though it is present within your body, but it has a different purpose. It is altogether different from your body. It can always stand apart from your body and behave, and it can get unified with God. So our school of thought says that. And different people have different attitudes towards life. So here, what's going to happen is a poet, I mean by name, Charlotte Bronte. Charlotte Bronte is the poet who is going to talk about the definition or the meaning of life. So here I have some basic questions to ask you. Can you recall some happy moments of your life and some unhappy ones? Natural. Maybe in our schooling, in our college life, maybe in our childhood, maybe somewhere or the other. Naturally, we may have some beautiful moments to recollect. Even today, when you are reminded of your school, the kind of nostalgic feeling, the kind of thoughts, memories come back to you, you feel so a kind of feeling that you are missing it thoroughly. That is called nostalgic. You feel slightly pained for the loss of that. You are not able to have it right now. So that's why everyone has some happy moments and also unhappy moments in life. And we cannot have only success in life. See, life is a blend of joy and sorrow, happiness and unhappiness, positive and negative, life and death. So these are all contradictory, contrasting, but still, just like bitter and sweet. So life has both success and also failure. We can't say that always you will have success. Of course, success comes after so many failures. So a person who is constantly and continuously failing need not worry at all, because success is going to follow him. So there can't be a life with full of failures for anybody. Definitely one day or the other he is going to taste success. So he is experiencing failures just because he is going to see a big success in his life. You can see examples, just like J.K. Rowling, you must be knowing, a famous authoress of Harry Potter. And she failed so many times. She happened to actually, in her life, she failed like anything. And even when she has written that Harry Potter, initially it was a flop, it was a failure, but after some time it picked up. And today she is, I can say, a millionaire, and she is, I have no words to say, billionaire or whatever, whatever. So that way we can see so many people in life have seen failures thoroughly. After that only they have taste, tasted the success. One example is, I can say, Thomas Alva Edison, who has invented a bulb. After the invention of a bulb, he was interviewed by the press like, "Sir, you have invented a bulb after failing some thousand times. Then what is your feeling towards that?" Then he said, "It is wrong to say that I have failed 10,000 times. I have succeeded 10,000 times in understanding in which way the bulb does not work. So every attempt was an experience for me. Every experiment has taught me something new through which I could invent a bulb today." That is the spirit of life. Never feel dejected, never feel disappointed that life is just, full of failures, full of pessimism, full of nihilism, full of negativity. Nothing of that kind. Every cloud has a silver lining, remember. Though cloud happens to look dark, but around it, if you closely observe, there is a silver lining. It means that there is a ray of hope, there is a ray of light always there. So you have to believe strongly, and you should build up yourself. You should, muster kind courage in your life that one day or the other you are going to see the success in your life. And of course, there is no person on this earth without misfortunes, without bad luck, without problems, without adversity, without negative times. Of course, it is but very common with everyone. But we should withstand, we should digest, we should stand against it and prove our mettle. Yes, of course, failure, it is not failure, it's an experience. It's a rung of a ladder. That's how you have to look at it. So here, of course, what happens when something misfortune, when something negative happens in our life, immediately we go off the balance. But we need to stand very strong and try to regain strength and regain balance. Okay, that is very important in life. And life, of course, has full of challenges. A life without challenges, a life without any uh, problems, without any really facing kind of situations, there is no thrill. Only when you have adversities, only when you have challenges, then you feel that, really you have made yourself to fight against the adversity, and you could really prove your mettle. Of course, life really, gives us plenty of opportunities. We should find where the opportunity comes. How does the opportunity come in our life? We should try to knock the door of the opportunity and try to exploit it as on when it comes to us. And Of course, we are troubled by negative thoughts and emotions. Then, what are you going to do? How are you going to face it? How are you going to overcome those negative thoughts and emotions? Of course, everybody feels sometime or the other very bad. I mean, something negative is going to happen. Sometimes some people look very dull. Sometimes some people look very pessimistic. Of course, it's but very common with everyone. But after some time, once again, they regain their previous mood and they go ahead in life. That is very, very common. But some people extraordinarily are suffering from depression. So this depression has become a major concern and major problem for them today. And some of them are going to even psychiatrists to take the drugs to fight against the depression that they are facing. Of course, if they can change their attitude, if they can change their outlook, if they can really be inspired by some positive thoughts, personality development, if they cultivate the habit of reading, meet with people who are very dynamic, who are very cheerful, who have very good thoughts, positive vibrations, positive thoughts, then naturally what happens is that we can be away from such kind of moods, and you don't require a doctor in your life at all. After all, one day or the other, it is for sure that we are going to die. So between life and death, what is that you are going to do? Maybe it is a short span of time or long span of time. What is that you are going to do? How are you going to utilize your time? How best you can really make use of it? What is your contribution as a human being who has come onto this earth? And what is that you have gained? What is that you have shared? What is that you have given to this the world? That is very, very important for us. So here, even Charlotte Bronte is going to talk about the same kind of concept here. So first, let me just give a brief introduction about Charlotte Bronte. And she actually born in the year 1816, and right from 1816 to 55, very little time, I can say, almost 39 years she survived, she lived. She was a 19th century English writer whose novel, John, I'm sorry, Jane Eyre, Jane Eyre, Jane Eyre, is considered a classic of Western literature. It's a classic that she has written. She was the eldest of the three Bronte sisters. Actually, there are three sisters. Out of them, she is the eldest. Three of them are writers only: Charlotte Bronte, Emily Bronte, Annie Bronte. Even Emily Bronte is also very, very famous writer, and who survived into adulthood and went on to publish novels. Charlotte Bronte, like many women writers of her time, originally published her poems and novels, especially Jane Eyre, under a male pseudonym, Currer Bell. Pseudonym means pen name. She has written all her writings under a pen name called Currer Bell. Currer, Currer Bell. So here, if you just go into the poem, you'll be able to understand what the poem tells us about. Yeah. First, let me just straight away read the poem for you. So, life, she begins like that. Life, comma, believe. So she says that, believe me. And you believe that life is not a dream. If anyone says that life is a dream, it is wrong. Of course, dream has two meanings. One is a dream which you happen to get while sleeping, in which all are imaginary, fictitious. Whereas another dream is something which is very serious, which will not let you sleep at all. That's why Abdul Kalam says that dream is not the one which comes to you while sleeping. Dream is the one which does not let you sleep at all. It will not allow you to sleep at all, because the dream always, inspires you, motivates you. It always, encourages you for something to do in your life, so that unless you reach that particular dream, achieve that dream, you have no sleep. It will not allow you to sleep at all. That is the dream. That's why here Charlotte Bronte says that if anyone says that life is a dream, it is but wrong. It's but wrong. It's not actually, it's not a dream. So life, believe, is not a dream, so dark as sages say. So here you have to understand the positive attitude of the writer, who says that sages, who are the sages? Philosophers, well-read people, wise people, especially those who have spiritual attitude. Those people, what they say is, what is there in life? They say life is only a dream, life is only a bubble. You don't know when it will crack, when it will break. But don't believe all that. As sages say that life is a dream, it is wrong. That's what life is. Something serious, whether it is short span of time or long span of time, but life is something serious. Life is really a dream. What kind of dream? The second one that I told you is something, an ambition. It's an ambition. It's, I can say, it's a goal. You have something serious to achieve in life. So life is not a dream so dark. See, always our spiritual attitude, especially our philosophers, give all dark, very negative kind of, negative in the sense, they try to develop a kind of detached attitude. They say that, there is nothing that you need to be attached to life, because this life, we don't know when we are going to lose, when we are going to die. If you are so much attached to it, if you think that it is something serious and you are seriously attached to it, suddenly death comes, then what happens? So that's why these people say that life is not a dream. She says life is not a dream, but those people say life is not a dream, so dark as sages say. Often a little morning rain foretells a pleasant day. Of course, every poet, what they do is, when they write poetry, whatever is the theme of their poem, they try to connect to the nature. So here they say that, just like a morning, you can just see morning is always a dawn. We say dawn. Dawn means it is a light, a dawn, a beginning of life. Just like a little morning rain. When rain comes in the morning, a little rain, it says that, it foretells to us that it is going to be a wonderful, a beautiful, pleasant day for us. So often a little morning rain foretells a pleasant day. Sometimes there are clouds of gloom. Try to understand. See, sometimes we find the sky being cloudy. Of course, what is wrong? Here, clouds of gloom. Gloom means here depression, disappointment, dejection, unhappiness, sadness, some kind of mourning or failure. All these will happen in life, of course. See, the morning, that morning rain foretells that it is going to be a pleasant day, very beautiful, everything is going so beautiful and all that. But there could be clouds of gloom sometimes, of course. It means that the poet is trying to say that life is a blend of joy and sorrow. Life is a blend of bitter and sweet. Life is a blend of pain and pleasure. It's not only one-sided. If everything goes well, if everything goes so beautifully, there is no thrill in life. Of course, there should be misfortunes, there should be adversity, there should be, some sad times. So one has to remember life is a mixture, a blend, a combination of joy and sorrow, pain and pleasure, positive and negative, failures and success. So that is life. If anyone says that, my life is just going like anything without any problems, he is not living life. If someone has all the failures but not the success, we can't accept that. If someone says that I have all the failures but not success, or someone says that I have all the failures only or successes only, no failure, we can't accept, because that's not life at all. Even if it's life, it's not a valid life. That's why the poet is reminding us that life is a blend of both pain and pleasure, happy and unhappy moments, joy and sorrow. Sometimes there are clouds of gloom, but these are transient. See, these are momentary, these are temporary. Of course, before the rain is going to come, how will the sky be? The sky will be overcast. The sky will be cloudy, as if, it is all gloomy, very dull weather and all that. But once it rains, it looks so beautiful, it looks so wonderful, you can really enjoy those times. That's why always there is a silver lining. Every cloud has a silver lining. We have to believe that something good is going to happen, something, positive is going to happen in life. So that's why she says that it is but only transient, only purely temporary. Remember, it's not going to last forever. It's not going to stay there forever in your life. Definitely, there's going to be a change. If the shower will make the roses bloom, why lament its fall? See how beautifully she connects to the nature and says that, if the shower will make the roses bloom, see, because of the rain, because of the drizzling and the shower, these flowers will bloom, will blossom, look so beautiful. So, if the shower will make the roses bloom, why lament its fall? Lament means, why do you cry? Why do you feel so sad about its fall? Fall means when it's going to fall, you need not worry about it. Rapidly, merrily, life's sunny hours flit by. So, naturally, after the rain, once again, sun will come. After the sun, once again, the rain will come. So it is a process. It's a phenomenon in life. So it is a cycle. You should try to understand it is but a cycle. Nothing is going to stay, or nothing is going to last permanently in life. Try to understand this. This is going to be purely temporary. So one has to be very conscious. When something happy times come to you, don't feel that, don't feel so elated, because it is going to stay there only temporarily. Even so also the pain, so also the misfortune, so also the adversity in life. So rapidly and merrily, very happily, merry, very, very happy. Merrily, life's sunny hours flit by. Gratefully, cheerfully enjoy them as they fly. As the cycle keeps moving, feel so happy and be grateful, be thankful, and be cheerful. Cheerily enjoy them as they fly. What thought death at times steps in and calls our best away? What though death at times steps in and calls our best away? What though sorrow seems to win over hope, a heavy sway, yet hope again, elastic springs. Suddenly a thought comes to us that, we are going to die one day. Of course, it's but a process. It's but a part of life that you are going to die one day. What though death at times steps in? Of course, it has to enter one day or the other. At times, at one point of a time or the other, it has to come in anybody's life, and it will take all your best away. Don't worry too much about it. And similarly, what though sorrow seems to win? Sometimes the situations will be so pressing that you cannot really come out of the sorrow. You cannot come out of the misfortune. You cannot come out of the bad times in your life. Maybe it will continue hours, days, months, years also. But be strong, try to overcome, try to fight against them, withstand all those hard times, and try to fight against them. Definitely, you are going to see light in your life. Definitely, you are going to see one day or the other, you are going to win in life. All the success is going to come, happiness is going to come, enjoyment is going to come in your life. That's why be optimistic in life. That's what she says. What though death at times comes in and calls, takes all our best away. Don't worry about it. Let it come. Be ready. Be daring enough to open your chest and show, come on, come and embrace. I'm not going to worry. And similarly, sorrow also, you should not worry too much and don't give too much of place for it. Yet, see, yet hope again elastic springs. See, there should be a hope always with us. There should be an optimistic attitude in our life. Yes, after death, once again, life. After unhappiness, once again, happiness. After sadness, once again, happy times. After gloom, once again, something pleasant, something happy, something wonderful is going to happen in my life. Kind of attitude towards life will make your life joyful, cheerful, jubilant, and happy. So, yet hope again, elastic springs, unconquered though she fell. Unconquered. You can't really conquer that. Yet, unconquered though she fell, still buoyant are her golden wings, still strong to bear us well. The hope, its wings are so strong and it is unconquered. Nobody can really win over this hope. That's why win always, hope always arises. Hope always makes our life so beautiful. Still buoyant, very dynamic, very cheerful, very energetic. Buoyant are her golden wings, still strong to bear us well, manfully, fearlessly, the day of trial bear, for gloriously, victoriously can courage quell despair. See, ultimately, it is the courage that is important in life. Can courage quell? Yes, quell means to suppress, to take away all the despair. Despair means dismay, disappointment, discouragement, and dejection, misfortune, adversity, negative thoughts, all will go with hope. Hope is the only thing that is important in life. One day or the other, something good is going to happen in my life. I'm going to have wonderful days once again. I'm going to really win in life. Kind of attitude towards your life will make your life so beautiful. You can really enjoy that kind of life. That's why manfully, just like a man, be courageous, be strong, fearlessly. Let fear not enter you at all. Fear is only imaginary. Once you allow the fear to rule you or overrule you, there ends the matter. That's why be courageous, be audacious all the time to fight against any kind of troubles that come in your life. You will emerge very strong. The day of trial. Trial means all bad times, all testing times, all worries and all that will go for gloriously, victoriously. One day you are going to become victorious. One day your life is going to become glorious. when the courage which you have can really take away all the despair, can take away all the bad thoughts in your life, all the bad moments, misfortune times in your life will disappear. Your life is going to be wonderful. That is very important. So optimistic attitude, positive attitude is very important for the individual to build up, to muster courage. Thereby you can fight any kind of situation. You can be strong enough. That's all about the poem, The Life.